What's up, y'all? What's up, Dan? Got a couple new blanks to show off here. Been cooler, a little bit rainy this week. Well, a lot rainy this week, so it's been cooler here in the shop, which means I get a little bit more leeway to pour some resin. So had some new micas for a couple weeks that I've been wanting to test out. So finally got a couple blanks in. I'll show those off here in a second. What's up, Mike? Mike, did your brush get there yet? But I'll show those off here in a second. Let's get a couple more people in, and then we got some, I don't know if it'll be fun, but it will be entertaining new stuff that I have not done before. So excited to kind of get into that and try some of that out. The old, if it doesn't say delivered by now, the old worry sets in. What's up, Nick? Nick, I got some fun stuff that I think you're going to be very intrigued by. Was going to do resin, and then yesterday I finally got a wild hair to try some stuff that I have not done yet. So we got 19 in, wait another minute, and then I'll show off some of the new blanks and kind of go over what we're going to be doing today. So got my haircut. Barber approved of the shaving brush. It needs to be a little bit more narrow, but we tweaked it just a hair. We'll see if gray pops in. Got Gray's brush finished. What's up, Siraj? Got Gray's brush finished. Bill's Mafia brush the other day. Eric's brush, got that finished. So I'll go ahead and show some of those off right quick. Eric's finished beautifully. That purple, just got to put a coin in there and mount his 40mm knot. Bill's brush, I mean, just the finish just came out swimmingly. There we go. Then the, I don't know, gray. What's up, Aaron? There goes one of the blanks. Gray's brush came out really, really nice. You see all that glitter just really freaking explodes. That's definitely an in-person brush. The glitter comes out so much more in person. This one's been kicking around the shop for a little while. This one is available. Got that one all finished up. And that one has a very unique color shift to it. It just kind of comes in just there so you can see it. So it's almost like a gray to like a silver color shift. So that one is available if anybody would like that one. Let me show off some of these new blanks. One of them I just dropped, so I can pick that up. Get one of my long tools for my T-Rex arms. So this one would have been really cool. What's up, gray wall or drywall? We're going to be making shaving brushes. So this one would have been really cool. Somehow I miscalculated the resin, so it's going to end up probably being a jar shape. Maybe a smaller version of my signature. But this has got a really cool color shifter in it and another new color shifter in there that's almost like a black color shift. And then some white. So that one should be pretty cool. James, I charge anywhere typically from like 65 to 75 per brush. And then depending on if you want a knot with it, it would be the cost of the knot with it as well. So we got that one. These literally just came out the pot, so they're still actually kind of warm. I'm gonna go put them in the lab oven. This one has what I thought was going to be a gray kind of color shifter, where I turn the lathe on. A gray color shifter in it that actually almost ended up being like this kind of a maroonish brown kind of color. And then that's got like this really cool kind of metallic army green, like almost like an emerald with it, and then some white in there, and then just some little specks of some of that black color shift as well. Oh, the last one? Which one? This one, Mike? What's up, Antonio? This one, probably the one I'm most excited for from these blanks. This one has a really cool kind of yellow, green, gold, almost like a blue color shift to it, and that color right there. And then there is some translucent blues to that. And then I think I put some of that army green and that black color shifter on that one too. So this one should be pretty cool. I'm excited about that one. So those are a couple new ones. What's up, Robert? I'm gonna go throw those in the pot or in the lab oven, and then we'll get started. Actually, it's been so cool, I'm kind of swimming in blanks now, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, so these are urethane resin. Urethane resin blanks. Yeah, it probably would. If Doug makes that set available, I have the pour written down for the brushes that I made for him to match that set. So if anybody wants one of those, just let me know as well. All right, main event. I wasn't gonna do these live, and then I decided my entire YouTube channel, shaving included, is all about me making an idiot of myself. And I suck anyways, so it's kind of the expectation of screwing stuff up if I do. So I made some stacked pours here. This one was just a ferrule, like a half brush that I had sitting around. So it's a little long. That's going to get cut down when we get on the lathe. But that is on there, so we're going to cut that down. Then I have metal inlay, which this is going to be the first time that I have turned something with a metal inlay. And then that is some Hawthorne wood from upstate New York. So that is fresh. My dad just shipped me down a fresh batch that he just took down, dried that in the lab oven. So we are going to turn this. Again, I don't know if I needed to double up on the inlays, if that is enough to make a difference between them. We're gonna figure this out together. The other one though, if this works well, this one I am very excited about. This is a blank that I did live a while back, and I ended up going too narrow on the ferrule. So I basically just cut down the other half, slapped that bad boy on top, put an a brass inlay right there. And then on the bottom of that is actually Purple Heart. So that one is going to be a little bit of a pain to turn. So that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put the face shield on, and if it blows up in my face, it blows up in my face, and you guys get all the entertainment in the world. So we're gonna chuck it up. We'll see what happens. These might not end up being usable brushes, but it's part of the learning curve when I've only been turning for 7 months. So, let's get into it. All right, let me get the shield on. These are done with just kind of a regular epoxy glue up. just kind of a regular epoxy glue up. So they've been curing for about a day, a little over a day now. So these have no dowel treatment in place. So we're gonna see. I did make some 3D printed dowels, so if I end up doing a stacked dowel like that, we'll roll with that. But that's what I say. Yesterday I got a wild hair. Was kind of feeling myself, feeling a little creative, and I want to change stuff up. I feel like I'm just kind of in a rut right now. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens, and if we fail, you learn. Let's go ahead and get rolling. Catch up on these comments real quick. Turning Bloodwood and Purple Heart is no fun at all. Yeah, Dustin, I am not looking forward to that. I am probably going to do mostly carbide on that. And I'm probably going to go through one bit from that. So, but exactly. That stuff is so freaking dense and hard. And also, I don't really know the effect of the brass inlay on the tools either. So, like I said, we're going to figure this out. I'm actually going to go over and touch up my scraper real quick, my negative rake round nose, because we probably will use that on the belly. So I'm going to go touch that up, make sure that's good and sharp. Going to take the honing stone to it real quick, kind of settle down part of that edge, part of that burr. What's up, Dino? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Over here. That brass is definitely coming down, but we still have a lot of work left to go. I'm going to tighten this real quick. Definitely feel that brass like hitting my arm. Little shards of brass everywhere. There is like a little gap right here, but I'm going to go ahead and fill with some stapler real quick. And then that fresh wood, I'm not sure how much checking will be throughout. So that's why I say this is truly an experimental handle. This Hawthorne wood is freaking gorgeous, but it checks the most of any wood I've ever seen. Make sure that fills in that crack. The other problem is I don't have a fence on my bandsaw, so I can't get perfectly straight sections. So that's probably why that didn't glue up properly right in there. That's a big set. Well, I say, probably not a first go I should have done on camera, but I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over again. And there will probably be a lot more experienced woodturners in here that'll have some great insight. And I'll probably make you cringe too. give that another hot second just to make sure all of that stuff cures. More cracks right here. This Hawthorne, when I got it in the mail last week, was literally at 23% moisture content. So I put it in the lab oven, tried to get it as dry as I could, but there's only so much you can do to speed up the drying that much without getting chucky. Alright, we'll give that a second, let that kind of spin. And I'm going to catch up on comments while they're filling in. What's up, Brett? Yeah, I don't know if either of these will end up being sold. This is fully experimental. I am literally going to take this and try to learn from this. But I figured I would bring you all along with me. So I don't know if either one of these will end up feasible. Like I said, that one's got cracks in the epoxy. So the other one probably does too. So we're going to see. But all right. Hopefully that CA is now finished curing and I don't get black CA glue all over my tools and the lathe. Here's my big starlight. Not that one. Oh, my big starlight tool. This one should be fine. Should be sharp enough, hopefully. Boy, that brass inlay is bigger than I thought it would be. It's like thicker than I thought it would be. Alright, CA seems fine. I don't really see too many other, maybe one right there I need to fill in. But you can see that beautiful Hawthorne, that doeskin grain pattern. And then this is almost like a purplish ube magenta-y kind of resin. What's up, Josue? And even like this collar, like I said, from that gluing issue, is going to be CA/brass. So that's already not going to come out how I would have wanted it to, but hit that. Let's check out some of these other cracks, which look pretty good. One right next to that one that I missed. The nice thing with the Hawthorne checking like crazy is that it actually looks amazing with black CA glue in it. So that's kind of cool. One more little spot right here. Seeing all of this spider cracked on me. I'm still learning the best ways to dry green wood quickly. But all right, same deal. I'm gonna go ahead and let that run for a second. I'm gonna trim off that CA glue, then we're gonna flip it around and do that ferrule. Spin and cure, spin and cure, spin and cure. So, Damon, when is that usually, when might that get there then? Is that another day? Is that another, like 2 days? All right, let's go ahead. Oof, that is smooth. And look at that beautiful, even though there's a ton of checking, look how beautifully that Hawthorne takes all that CA glue. Yeah, don't forget, Mike, we also have the yellow blank in the pot, in the, that guy too. All right. Now the decisions. What do we do for the ferrule? Got to trim this down. Matter of fact, I'm going to go fire up the bandsaw real quick, and I'm just going to trim that down with the bandsaw. And then we can make another ferrule. And it'll be less likely to snap off. Be right back. All right, so then I'll set that part aside, and that will go on the stack for another brush. What's up, Rob? All right, let's get into this ferrule. Now I feel way more comfortable. You see how it's all wobbly? We got to get it roughed down. Wobbling quite a bit, so I am going to live center it. Just to get it down. Alright, now I'm going to aim to kind of just to get that brass, the focal point of the collar, and I think that's kind of the shape that we're going to end up with, or shoot for. Like I said, we're just going real easy. Goal isn't some crazy shape. I just want to turn something. Alright, get that coin hole drilled. Michael McFarland, I am making a shaving brush for traditional wet shaving. Now, if you're not familiar with what traditional wet shaving is, where you would take a shaving brush and either generate a lather with a shaving cream or a shave soap in a bowl or a scuttle. And that is essentially what I am making with the shaving brush for traditional wet shaving. And Michael McFarland, if you have not tried traditional wet shaving, I would certainly recommend that you try it out. Kai, this is not plain. It might not get sold. This is my first go at a metal inlay with a stack up, and there's already some gluing that didn't go right, so I don't even know. I might just keep this one for myself as a first go. Alright, well, like I said, super basic on the ferrule. We're keeping it easy, we're keeping it clean, we're keeping it simple. Now, let's start on the wood side. A little bit of tear out, some of the grain. Asian traveling shot glass, that's right. Okay, is the best. It's like dark and rainy and stormy over here. I'm hearing whistling. Like, is that a freaking tornado or is that the vacuum? What's up, Les? Well, you can see that ube really popped. Alright, I'll let that spin for a second. Get my screw back out. Try to trim out some of this CA glue that just spilled onto the barrel a little bit. Alright, that should be cured, so. Should have done a glue up with an older blank. I just grabbed a good looking piece of Hawthorne and was like, it's registering, should be fine. And then just endless checking. What's up, Sweet Lou? Yeah, thanks, Josue. It's just there's a lot of stop and fill, stop and fill. If there's any testament for using dry wood that has no checking, this would be it. I don't think that CA glue is fully cured because I definitely have CA glue all over my daggum carbide. Alright. She's not looking bad. Just definitely a little busted. Definitely a little busted. Yeah, there's like, see, yeah, there's no way this one's gonna get sold. We're gonna keep this one. This is gonna be all learning, baby. There's like all sorts of stuff on the brass inlay there that's got to get cleaned up. Kind of what I figured might happen with that glue up going wrong. All right. Well, that is probably why you use the dowel method. So, with that in mind, we're probably not even going to bother with this one. But, like I said, sometimes you got to take a few lumps on camera. But it was looking right. I'm trying to think. There might still be a brush in there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna throw that one aside. Chuck that ferrule out. And that could have even been on me from not putting the live center in. But if it failed there, it was going to fail at any point in the turn. So, all right, I got dowels for the next set of glue ups. I got dowels all figured out. Yep, that's how you learn, baby. That's one of the best parts about being a content creator that's real. You don't just put out successes all the time. Y'all have seen me fail more times on this channel than I can count. And I'm okay with that because turning ain't always sunshine and rainbows. Shaving ain't always sunshine and rainbows. But I'd rather keep it real. And I will be the first to admit that I still suck at this. All right, let's do it. Just out of curiosity, we're going to do that whole thing over again. This is a much denser wood, much harder wood. If we get to that point, we're going to live center it, because I'm curious if the torque did that or if it was the bond on the connection. Now, this ferrule is not very well centered. Another reason why you do the dowel method is because it allows you to center everything up perfectly. Squeezing this together with my hands and a clamp, that ferrule is definitely not centered so perfectly. So it's going to be a while before we get this roughed down, and then we can see where we get to. But I did mention at the top of the live, this might make for some good TV for y'all. So all right. Let me get this moved closer. Tail stack butted up. There we go. Oh my gosh, that Purple Heart is so much more dense than that Hawthorne was. Debating on trimming this one down too. That grass coming off on my arm is hot as heck. Look at that. That is just coming straight at your arm. I hope this one turns out, because the ferrule on this one is filthy. Wow, that That still isn't even fully rounded. Dang. Alright. Got a little bit more left over here, and then I'm definitely going to go turn this down on the bandsaw. When I did this second one, I recognized the potential for the glue failure because, see, the glue looks way better on this one. There's no gaps. The last one, there were gaps between the inlay and the ferrule. This one I feel a lot better about. So I basically just took the blank that was already perfectly square and flat on top, even though it was set for a full brush in itself, and just glued up the whole thing. So this blank, that's massive. So I'm gonna go cut that down real quick. So same deal, I'm just gonna throw that aside and that'll go on a segmented brush at some point as well. Let me just even this out real quick. Get that bottom perfectly flat. Like I said, I don't have a fence on my bandsaw, so it's all by the steadiness of my hand. I need to figure out a better dust collection system. This thing just is annoying as heck. All right, that's good enough. Okay. Yep, that's actually what I've got, Tom Brook. This is all connected to a shop vac. All right, so same deal. something simple. Get the coin hole drilled. So we ain't reinventing the wheel. We're just going for a W. And this one might be chunky as heck. We'll see. But that ferrule, that pour is looking nice. Trying to decide if I want to just finish the ferrule now. We're going to do that. And then I'm just going to turn around and we're going to do the whole thing with the live center in it. So we have quite a few people in here. If anybody has joined and you have been wondering for 15 minutes what I am making, this is a traditional wet shaving brush, a brush for traditional wet shaving. So essentially, if you're unfamiliar with traditional wet shaving, it's how our grandparents would have shaved years ago. And you would basically take a brush with a knot in it, either natural hair or synthetic fibers, and you would use a shaving soap or a shaving cream to create and generate a lather on your face to shave with. So that is what this is for, is a wet shaving brush. And this in particular is a stacked hybrid shaving brush, where it is a wood base, a brass inlay, and then a urethane resin ferrule. And this urethane resin ferrule is part of a blank that I poured the other day. And it is essentially, it's got like some blues, some interference gold in it. And then it's also got some black in it as well. Get my wet sanding of that ferrule done right quick, and then we'll get into the bottom half. Next I need some more 1000 grit. I did think about keeping it. Still kind of am. If I do not, then Mike McFarlane actually claimed this one. But we'll see how it turns out. If it's quality enough to send out, then I'll probably end up selling it. But if not, then I'll keep it. This whole live is really just exploratory. I just put these together yesterday. I've only done, I think, 2 stacked hybrids, maybe 3. And it's been quite a while, and I've never done it with an inlay. I literally just took a resin ferrule and slapped it on a piece of wood. And it looks fine, but it's just not as professional looking as like an actual... like with an inlay. Rob from Chisel and Hound does some incredible stuff with inlays, and Bobby Moffat does as well. So it's really made me want to start experimenting with them. I've had the inlays for some time. I just haven't gotten around to making some glue ups with everything going on. So I finally did yesterday. What's up, Amanda? Miss Patricia Lee. Welcome in. But with it, you got to kind of combine two finishing processes. You got to combine wood with resin, which my resin process, the polishing is really kind of ornate. So I don't know if there's going to be overlap with like kind of how it, if it'll leach onto the wood or like how that takes. So that's why I say this is a full-on experiment and learning live. Because I have zero shame and don't mind making myself look like a total idiot on camera. As evidenced by the first attempt. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the 767 likes, Rabbit. You gotta work harder, my friend. Love you. But I was happy, just kind of spur of the moment, putting this one together. The brush that the ferrule came off of was kind of a failed turn. So, but the pour was nasty on it. So I'm really excited to kind of repurpose that ferrule. And I think I know what I'm going to do with the bottom half. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get that live center as close as we possibly can, since the dust collector does nothing for wood anyways, so. Hey, that was kind of cool, not having to do the mandrel. That's kind of how we're looking right now. Now this Purple Heart, if you guys have never seen Purple Heart turned, it's going to be unreal. Beautiful, beautiful wood. Love Purple Heart. Purple Heart is just a pain because it is so freaking dense. And actually, I am going to go sharpen my scraper again. I'm not gonna worry about honing it though. All right. Here we go. The nice thing is with these super dense, I mean, they dull your tools so quick, but you have so much less you got to worry about, like a tip out. All right, and like I said, we're going to keep it simple. So I think I'm just going to kind of make like a, yeah, like a little slant handle there, and then we'll just round her off, and we'll get out of this one. Yeah, definitely some CA glue on that daggone bit. There we go. All right. All right. Let's drill that coin hole. See how it feels. Oh yeah, that's actually a lovely little shape. That's how hard it is. Okay. And get to sanding. You could. The problem is, Rabbit, they're just a little, they're like more powdery than like resin. They're not as intact. You could, I just don't know. I don't know what the weight of the resin would do to it. I might just get a fresh sheet with how freaking hard Purple Heart is. I might just get a fresh sheet. I mean, look, I'm down to try it. Could be speaking up my butt. But that's why I like you, Rabbit. You push my limits. I almost thought for a second about doing some burn marks on the bottom here. But I think then we getting a little too fancy. And we just got to take the W. We made it to sanding. That's like step one, you know. The glue up stayed intact. The turn went well. Take the win. Get out of there. I'll catch up on comments here once I'm done with this. Yeah, it's kind of nice once once we get it all finished and you can really see uh, what that Purple Heart looks like. I think that contrast is going to look really, really nice. What's up, Blake? Blake, I have been meaning to message you. So your brush came in then, my friend, huh? Oh, awesome. What you think, Josue? Yeah, Josue's got the... Dang, see, I knew I forgot. I was sitting there like, I know there's more thank you posts I got to make. Completely forgot about yours. Josue actually just got the very first Odin Yeti coin in the wild. I've had Lathered Yeti out, and now Odin Yeti is a new coin. And then also I have Thor Yeti as well. I know. That's the first thing that Josue asked me. It's not, hey, what kind of knots do you have? It's, all right, what coin do you got that's new that I don't have? So, Tom, these stacked hybrids, if they're a thing moving forward, these would probably be 75, depending on, unless the wood is some crazy exotic that I had to pay like a crap load of money for. These stacked hybrids would probably be 75. I have honeycomb resin brushes over here too. Those ones are 75. Basically all my brushes range between 65 and 75 for the handle alone. So it's a little case, not really case by case, but a little bit. Like some mica powders are way more expensive. So I got to charge a few bucks extra for that. Or like the honeycomb blanks take a lot more resin to assemble and a lot more assembly time. So that's why those are about 10 bucks more. But I would say probably 60% of my brushes, 70% of my brushes are 65 for the handle. And then if you wanted a knot, I'm currently running very low on inventory for knots, but it would just be the cost of the knot as well. What's up, Juan? All right, I think that's good. Luckily, the dense hardwood, you don't have to worry as much about sanding lines. It's more of surface refinement. But I still, y'all know me with sanding lines. What's up, Jordan? Yeah, we my first go with brass inlay. Well, technically my second go. The first one, ask everybody how that one went. That was before this one. Actually, we're just going to scrap that and get a new sheet. I said that dense hardwood, that stuff is so hard it literally just strips and take the face off now. Just strips all the abrasion so quickly. Actually, this one probably does deserve a Regal. It's probably a good call, Jose. It is a first. Purple Heart, I mean, it is so hard when you're turning it that it dulls your tools so quickly. But boy, it is freaking gorgeous. Y'all don't see it now, but when I get that water locks on it, don't worry, we're gonna put the glove on. It's gonna be an absolute stunner. And I think it's gonna pop with that ferrule too. Yeah, I know it might not seem like the most fair thing, Tom, to, you're kind of thrown into the wolves in a live like this where you might want one and then all of a sudden some guy claims it. It's kind of customary in the wet shaving community. Other turners will do that. They kind of set that precedent. But if there is one that gets claimed and you had your heart set on it or something like that, just message me and I'll see what we can do to. Obviously, I can't. They're all pretty much one of one. No, none of my brushes are going to be exactly the same, especially with where my skill level is as a turner right now. But I can do my best to try to get you one that's similar or the same colors or the same shape at least or something like that. I do have, like somebody just mentioned, I do have about, I want to say 15 that are actually available and ready to be shipped out today. So if you are seriously interested, go ahead and just shoot me a DM on Instagram, Facebook, and then I can send you videos of what I do have available right now. Appreciate your interest, though, my friend. And thanks for hopping in the live. It's been great having you in here. Yeah, if you've done it, then you definitely get it. All right, let's finish it up with some 600. Oh, let's finish it up by dropping the 600. I really should be wearing my mask right now, but we've already come this far. Oh, I don't know about that, Rob. I don't know if I deserve that kind of praise, but I do appreciate it. It's actually really funny. I've always been a sports guy, analytically minded, sports performance based, player personnel. Um, I have been so far removed from ever being what I would consider creative. And I was a junior UI UX designer from my first year at my last company about 3 years ago. And I wasn't terrible at the actual design aspect. The colors, picking colors, what to make colors, terrible. Just like every other creative venture in my life. And then I get into wood turning, and shortly thereafter, resin casting. And for whatever reason, it makes sense to me. I have no idea why. At this point, I think about it, but like, if I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm going to put orange with black and blue bean jelly and blah, 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 I just kind of listen to it now. Oh, cutting rocks. That sounds interesting. How do you do that? Do you use a lathe or do you use like a laser cutter type of a deal? I think I finally found a good medium between you guys is this camera angle work for y'all? Because I can actually see the comments really well at this camera angle. Or well, not really well, but relatively well. Thanks, Rabbit. Yeah, this one's looking pretty good. Oh, very nice, Tom. That's super interesting. Always enjoy hearing what other hobbies or other people do for work. Oh, that's heartwood. I thought those were lines for a second, but that's just heartwood. All right. Get my board all laid out. y'all know what time it is. Oop, that is way too fast, though. In the words of Jackie Chan, slow down, baby. All right, I gotta get careful getting too close to that ferrule up there. I mean, it would probably polish off, but... I know Jordan wanted me to zoom in a little bit more. So for anybody who may have just joined and is wondering what the heck I am making, this is a shaving brush handle for traditional wet shaving. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what wet shaving is, wet shaving is essentially the way that our grandparents used to shave. And it involves using a brush, a lather brush, with a knot in it to create a lather on your face, or in a bowl or a scuttle. And that is essentially, then they would shave with either a DE, which is a double-edged safety razor, or a straight razor. And now it is kind of an intense little hobby with a very close-knit community, and these shave brushes are an integral part. So if you are, if any of that sounds appealing to you, or you like really good scents, you have trouble struggling with your current shaving routine, you get a lot of razor burn, razor bumps, irritation, very sensitive skin, highly recommend that you check out traditional wet shaving. If you have any other questions revolving around it, my Instagram bio is linked in my channel description. And then there are several other wet shavers in here that would be more than willing to answer your question. And then also, my channel actually revolves around wet shaving. It's started focusing on brush making content the more that I've kind of gotten into brush making. But there is a load of wet shaving content on my channel if you want to go check it out. If you feel so inclined, please like and subscribe. That always helps. There are several other wet shaving YouTubers in the comments right now, including Rabbit Shaves, Nick Lopez, El Mescalero Shaves. They have some incredible content, some really great channels as well. Highly recommend you check some of them out if any of that sounds appealing to you. All right, good for that. And now you can really see that purple heart. She's just glowing. Let's hit it with a little bit of that BLO, boiled linseed oil. I'm still not 100% sure on if this does anything after you seal it, but it'll at least kind of condition that wood and maintain that finish a little bit. Don't know, just a little extra step that I don't think hurts anything. What's up, Dominique? And if you're wondering why I'm doing this with my hand and not with the towel, I can do both. My dad has been a furniture builder for probably 45, 50 years. And he swears by the body heat of applying the finishes. Just kind of something that I've adapted to and enjoyed as well. So that's why I love to get my Patrick Swayze Demi Moore on with the handle once I finally finish it. Did not know that, Brett. So that is a fun fact as well. All right, one last little bit. And then with my wood handles, I do like to let them kind of sit overnight with that finish. And I will come back the next day and just kind of feel if that finish, a lot of times it can cause that the grain to kind of rise up a little bit. And if it does, then I usually just hit it with some triple aught steel wool, Scotch-Brite. All right, so that ferrule still got to get finished, and I do see some water locks on it. So let me get a towel and just wipe off some of that water locks with some alcohol. And actually, we do have to finish the other side of it. I got to finish the inside of the ferrule, because I never did actually sand that down. I don't think I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I can't remember. And that is how we're looking. See, that brass really pops. Like I said, no idea what that's going to look like finished. So we'll find that out. But you can see that beautiful resin ferrule. Little sample of what that's going to look like. First ever brass ferrule, and now I'm starting to realize why you don't often see just brass, because I think it's going to be impossible to get some of these sanding lines off of the top of that. So I'm sure that that's probably part of it. but fits great in the hand, super ergonomic. You can see that Purple Heart. I mean, that stuff is just freaking gorgeous. What y'all think of that contrast? Did I pick the right color combos, or does that look kind of weird with that Purple Heart? You can see that interference gold really kind of sets off right there. And that black in there as well. Okay. Let me just polish the inside of that ferrule and then we'll move on to the next one. Oh, I do have to caveat that also needs to be polished as well because I'm not used to doing stacked hybrids. So that brush actually isn't finished yet. So need to remember that. Actually, the inside is really, I don't even think it needs to be sanded. We're just going to polish it. Nope, we're going to sand it. I decided that. But I do want the wobble out of there. Yeah, there's a little bit of chatoyancy. It's probably more the finish than anything. It's not a ton. There we go. Okay. Well, we're getting into subjectiveness now, Brett. I would argue that a 2-band would look better, but you like your high mountain whites. All right. One last look. And that's dense. So that Purple Heart is super dense. And then that ferrule is a little oversized. So that's got some meat to it. That's got some weight to it. All right. All right, I'm not sure what just happened. It just said to resume the stream. So, take a second here, catch my breath, catch up on some of these comments if I've missed them. Oh, that's awesome, Tom. That clock sounds awesome. Yeah, if you like addictions in general, what shaving is it for you? Angle is perfect. Okay. It actually didn't let me go back that far. Okay. Yeah. we'll see. I'm curious how that ferrule, or how that the top part of that inlay, golly, finishes. So, all right, give me 1 second. I gotta see if my wife has called me or texted me. Okay. She evidently texted me that she was going to be late while we were on the live, and I just realized it's 7 o'clock and she ain't home yet. So that at least explains that. All right, so we just did that one. We can do honeycomb. We can do I have several really cool pours that we can crack into. This one will most likely be a reattempt at that shape that I was trying the other day, if it's wide enough. I feel like I had a shape in mind for this one, and now I can't remember what I was going to do with that one, but you can see that one's got some really gnarly color shifts in it. That one has some really cool color shifts in it, like purple, gold, mauve, smaug color. These ones are very cool as well. You could do one of those. Yeah, Paul, I haven't really been feeling shaving that much the last couple months. So I haven't really been shaving on camera. We got glitter sparkle fart. Rabbit. What else we got? Blue with a bunch of glimmer shimmer. What y'all feeling? We could do a full wood brush. Unfortunately, the only other stacked one that I have is busted, so that one won't work. We've got purple and yellow, purple and gold honeycomb. There's a couple other really nasty little blanks that I've got too that we could smash into. What y'all think? I'm gonna leave it dealer's choice. I can go show off some newer blanks too that I've got coming that are gonna be hot as heck right now. Do the honeycomb, blow their minds. We could probably do that. This one is, I don't know if this is gonna pan out the way that I wanted it to. I was going for a steel Yeti. So this is like kind of a steel kind of color. I don't know if, there you go. Kind of like a steel color, and then there's Yeti colors kind of sprinkled in throughout. So that might be more of a stunner once it's turned. That'll be coming down the pipe. This one was just poured today. That one's got some really unique color shifts in it, with some translucent blue and like almost like a new black color shifting powder. Blue steel, that's what we're gonna call that one, Rabbit. Blue steel. This one is actually from that Banger family of pours, so that one should be an absolute stunner as well. That one's coming down the pipe. This one. That looks kind of cool. A little unassuming, kind of like some swirls or some little stuff like that in there. Until you go, wow. That one's going to be very interesting. So those are cooking in the lab oven right now. It sounds like everybody wants a honeycomb. My wife just texted me, so I got to text her back. have some other cool cool ones like that. So I will be back in just a second. I got to text my wife. All right. So we're gonna go honeycomb. Anybody got any ideas on a shape or a preference? So we have got gold and purple, purple cone, Yeti comb. That Yeti comb is probably going to be nasty. I think if I do, I might do one of these in like the giveaway shape that I did for the brush with Juan. That kind of tucked, no collar. I really like the look of that. So, what's up, Thomas? Golden purple. Best part is y'all are going to see both of them eventually. It's just a matter of if it's right now or not. I'm chucking up the purple one. So that's what we're going with. Boom. And now I got to put the face shield back on for these guys. Bigger cutter that we're going to try for this, so maybe it's not a good idea, but why not? Might actually sharpen this, take this out and sharpen this real quick. Oh, there it is, done. got to sharpen this. This is part of that lot of new tools that I got, but it was sitting in a guy's garage for 40 years, so. And that is hot, hot. All right, let me grab my honing stone. All my honer is about to be in paradise right now. Green's 1200. Start with 600, then go to 1200, then finish it on a 2K. Oh yeah, look at that swarth. Oh yeah, it's the Nagura Yoshi Pikachu progression. All right. Get that cleaned off. Oh, awesome, Thomas. Sounds good, my friend. Pressure's on now, huh? Boy, it looks like there's one bad side to that bit, though, so maybe we won't be using this one. I tend not to do dialicot with the carbides, but if I use my German steel fancy bits, then I definitely will do dialicot with those, which I am totally just kidding. There's no German fancy bits that I'm aware of. I'm sure there actually are in the world. There's always German fancy bits. And now let's just, I'm probably going to screw up the refinement on the edge right now, because we're just roughing anyways, but okay. Throw this stuff back in the drawer. And now is when you really get tested with those hypoglycemic sausage fingers, putting that little screw back in that hole. While trying to balance the drill. Okay. And we made it. Oh yeah, way sharper. Oh, there goes the sun. Still got a lot to take off. Boy, look at all the confetti though. We might save some of that. Alright, finally getting there. That's what I'm thinking, Robert. Red resin is the red tinted resin is the marinara. All right. Now, let's see if it's too narrow to. We got to trim off just a touch. See if it's too narrow to flip around. Backing material, that's not a bad idea. Ooh, we're just good. Okay. Very gingerly rough the rest of this down. Tenderly. Well, let's see if we can get to 400 likes. That would be insane. For the sake of redundancy, we're going to flip it again because this side is a touch wider. And there's more room for that belly. And then just to avoid some of the chatter, I'm just going to trim it one more time. All right. Oh, those are some cool. See, those are some cool ribbons. I might have to fish those ones out. Those are some cool ribbons, for sure. y'all, look at how cool these ribbons are. What's up, Ian Cooks? Kind of how we're looking. Oh dang, there's a little tip out right there. Well, barrel shape didn't go exactly as I wanted, but I might have stumbled upon a new shape. That's kind of the fun part about turning. go in with a preconceived notion. And based on how the turn is going, have a totally different outcome. Alright, well, at least that little tip out is pretty much gone. Like just a speck there, but I don't want to take too much more off, so we're going to leave it. I kind of want to call it, oh no, Bazooka Joe. Alright, well, get into the other side of it. That's kind of cool up there, isn't it? I appreciate that, Barry. I'm just trying to keep growing and learning, my friend. There's so much to learn in this craft, trade, hobby, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just trying to keep it rolling. I'm actually into the cornhole first. And I'm going to switch to my safety goggles. 24 likes for 400. See if we can get it by the end of this one. Still in reverse. What's up, Gina? Sheba Boss. That's how we looking. I kind of like the little, that's the wider part of the hive from the mold. I kind of like how it adds like a little almost alien vibe, like kind of contour to it.